Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 16 updates and spoilers. We have two house guests of the day, Corey Woods and Chosen Knight. So Corey Woods is an aspiring Big Brother house guest, so check out his YouTube channel and say hello. And Chosen Knight, happy birthday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Alright, so they had nominations yesterday and Caleb put up Frankie and Victoria for eviction. So it sounds like Caleb gave one of his wonderful speeches again during the ceremony, told Frankie that he's just a pawn. He was only just a pawn. Okay, so even though he made that speech and said that, Frankie is pissed and totally shocked. So Caleb goes over to Frankie, he's like, "Do you hate me, Frankie?" And Frankie's like, "No, I don't hate you, I just don't understand why you did this." And Caleb's just like, "You just go out there, win the veto, and then I'll put up Derek in your place and we'll get rid of Victoria and it'll be fine." So he tells Frankie, "These guys, Derek and Cody, have kept me safe. You haven't." So Frankie's like, "Well, it sucks that the strong ones get tested the most." This is only Frankie's second time on the block, so apparently he thinks that Victoria is much stronger than him because she's been up like, what, 8 or 9 times already? So you might want to check that logic there. But Frankie is really upset that he didn't at least get a heads up. None of the guys told him beforehand that he was going to go up on the block. So Derek and Cody have a quick meeting in the storage room. They're so excited about nominations. But they're like, all right, our job is not over. We have to win the POV this week, keep the nominations the same, and get rid of Frankie. So they confirm, yes, Frankie is the target this week. I don't know if Caleb 100% agrees with that, but he can't vote anyway. So there was lots and lots and lots of studying the memory wall last night, especially Derek and Victoria. They were there like for hours. It's crazy. So everyone was like looking from all different angles. They were bringing out some props to cover parts of people's faces so they could really squeezing the camera, so they could really hone in on different features of everyone's faces. So they were holding up friggin' like tortillas, and I think Caleb made some sort of crazy mask with like sanitary napkins and like all sorts of ridiculous stuff. So we'll see how it works out for them. But Derek and Victoria have a quick second alone, and he's like, "Victoria, if I win the power veto, I'm gonna use it on you." What? That would be really bold. I'm wondering if he would really do that. I'm not so sure. But Derek and Frankie are chatting outside, and it seems like Frankie is trying to send him a message. He's said this before, but he was like, "If Victoria makes it to the final 2, I'm voting for her." Translation, bros before hoes, don't take Victoria to the final 2. Whoa. So Derek is like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Like, if someone like Cody took Victoria to the final 2, he deserves to lose because that's the coward's way out." That's pretty much Derek's plan. So Frankie confronts Caleb again about his nomination, this time in the backyard. He's like, "Are you testing me? Why didn't you put up Derek? He's never been nominated before." So Caleb is like, "Well, I was worried that you were going to win the veto and then take Victoria down, and then it would be Cody and Derek up on the block, and we can't have that." And Frankie's like, "Oh, that's ridiculous." He said he won the power veto last week when he was HOH, and he didn't make any crazy moves, so why would he do it this week? And then again, he's like, "Why not Derek up on the block?" So Caleb comes up with this lame excuse. I'm pretty sure Derek told him to say this if Frankie asked. "Derek didn't get to play in HOH the last 2 weeks, so it's not fair to nominate him." That's how Big Brother works. What? So Cody and Derek, Caleb tells Frankie that Cody and Derek also have never made a move against him. They caught Frankie with his pants down. Remember when he had to reveal his secret to make everyone forget about betraying them? So Frankie's like, "Oh, that was weeks ago. Well, that has no relevance now." So Derek comes outside, and Frankie continues to defend himself. At this point, he knows what's up because he's realizing, oh, Derek and Cody are the ones that told Caleb to nominate me. And he's like, "Caleb, you are naive." So when Derek comes out, Frankie's like, kind of being like, why did you want me up? Because it's pretty obvious that that's where it came from. And Derek is pissed. He weasels his way out of that conversation, and then he's talking to himself alone on the hammock. He's like, Caleb says way too much. He's got a horrible social game. And then he describes the way that you're supposed to play Big Brother. He's like, you make moves and shut up. Make moves, then lie about it. You don't make a move and then tell a person the real reason you made the move. Ugh. So he's pretty pissed about that. So Derek and Cody are talking to Caleb. They're like, did you throw us under the bus to Frankie? This seems like deja vu, because I feel like they've had this conversation before. They had this conversation like 2 weeks ago. So Caleb's like, what? No way. Frankie was trying to get me to throw out names, but I didn't. How many names could you possibly throw out at this point? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious who's making the shots here. So Caleb is just like going nuts in the HOH room by himself. I don't know why this was happening, but Caleb was listening to his Brett Eldredge CD. So he had the headphones on, and he was talking to the cameras very loudly, you know, like when someone is wearing headphones, they're like, what? What'd you say? And everyone's just like, why are you yelling right now? So everyone in the house could hear everything he was saying. Luckily for him, it was kind of embarrassing, but at least it wasn't any game stuff. He was like, you know, saying his usual stuff, talking about his dating profile. I say dating profile as in he's asking for dates, not like his actual online dating profile. But he's like, yeah, give Beast Mode some love, we'll go hunting together. Beast Mode is a loyal guy, he'll respect you. So then he goes the America route and he's like, don't mess with the US, you'll get Beast Moded. And then my favorite, he's been saying this a lot lately, he mentions a viewer sitting at home on his recliner, puffy dog next to him, sitting there with bowl of Cheetos watching TVGN. And then he was dancing around while listening to the CD like a nut. So, side note, last night Derek was trying to fix Victoria's necklace, which was broken during the jury stampede yesterday. And Victoria was crabbing about it, remember? So he was trying to fix it on the down low without her knowing. I think all the guys knew, but he was like, don't tell her. So I think he may have actually kind of fixed it, so that'll be nice for her. But I'm sure she's still going to demand a new one, so we'll see. But Frankie was talking to Derek about Caleb, and he was like, Caleb only cares about money and his image. This is Big Brother. How many times has Frankie said, this is Big Brother, this is how you play? So he says, people's priorities are different than mine. Caleb has made it clear that all he cares about is money. Frankie, are you really telling me that you don't care about the money? Come on now. So then Frankie brings up how Caleb is jumping around like a nut in the HOH room, and he's like, I bet he looks like an idiot upstairs right now. And he mentions how he was given a note that TVGN doesn't like when you perform for them. So it sounds like the diary room was telling him, the viewers are not enjoying your crazy shenanigans during TVGN. And I'm thinking, I was really enjoying Caleb's stuff, so it's really only when Frankie tries to make TVGN the Frankie show. But anyway, Frankie was having a chat with Cody about what do you think? His nomination in the backyard, and he's like, yeah, I'm upset more than anything because Caleb didn't even tell me first. That's shady. I mean, it is kind of weird that they didn't tell him first because I thought they were planning on doing that. But then the conversation shifts. They talk about how many times Victoria has been nominated. I love how these people whine about me being nominated like once, maybe twice. Victoria's been nominated like 8 or 9 times, and Frankie's like, oh man, I totally forgot. She's a strong bitch. So, whoa. So, Caleb and Victoria spent a lot of time together alone up in the HOH room last night, and it seemed kind of like they were flirting a little bit. It was weird. I don't know. There's like a movement on the internet, people who want to see Caltoria. I don't know, they have like this weird thing going on. I kind of saw it when they were stuck together as Adam and Eve, but they're funny to watch together. So he ended up telling her about the history of the bomb squad, and I'm wondering, is she actually gonna believe it this time? Because it's been spilled to her so many times before, and it hasn't stuck yet. So who knows? But Caleb tells Derek, yeah, I told Victoria about the bomb squad. Whoops. So he also spills that Victoria promised to vote for him in the final 2. So Derek friggin' loves this because he wants everyone to think that Victoria's not going to vote for him. So he's like, oh yeah, well, I'm definitely not getting her vote, so you probably will. So he's totally playing it up. And then late last night, Victoria and Derek were talking alone, because they can't be seen talking to each other, about some past game moves. And Victoria's kind of annoyed that Derek has kept so many things from her throughout the game. So he does share a few game moves that Victoria didn't know about before, like when Joe Costa was evicted instead of Zach, and that all changed at the last minute. And Victoria is just like, yeah, I'm still 1,000% loyal to you, and we're all good. So there's that. I don't know if the Power Veto competition is going to be today or tomorrow. I think if it's going to be today, it's definitely going to be later in the evening since it's the morph competition, and they always do that one at night, it seems like. So I'm going to be out today, but if they do have the Power Veto competition, I will post it in the info as soon as I can. And until tomorrow, much love.
Edit.